and the ancestors are looking out for us. God hates is exposing them, man.
Okay, you see that chair right there? See how big it is?
Yeah.
Now look at the Pope chair under. Scroll down, look at the Pope chair under.
Never have it been made so clear.
Young TV. Young.
We running the game right now.
Young TV.
Time to take over.
Young
We the hottest in the game. Hit that like, hit that subscribe button. If you just not tuned in.
TV.
Share, like on your Instagram, Facebook.
Young TV.
If you tuned in, we broadcasting live from 2030, baby.
Young TV. Young
Taking over the game, baby. Oh yeah.
Young TV.
Hit that like.
Young TV.
Get them likes up in the air, you heard me?
Young TV.
Ride by. Hotel Islam.
Young TV.
Assalamu alaikum. Flown letter.
Young TV.
Hit that like.
Hey, Ron Bott, man. We got you in here tonight. We got a lot of shit to go over, man. Hit that like, hit that subscribe button. Make sure you send it to everybody. Let them know we live. This is Palace Paradox. Clone-plated theories stamped by wrong. We got some important information to go over here, man. Now I'm starting to realize why Noble Drew Ali was saying enforce the Constitution, man. But how could you enforce something when you don't know the ramifications of it? Our people, they don't teach our people the ramifications of the Constitution. And they don't teach our people, how to, that you exert your sovereignty by asserting the Constitution. So we brought you on tonight. We got a couple, we got a lot of clips. We got a lot of clips. We got names. We got times. We got dates, and etc. Now we giving people time to get on. Everybody hit that like, man. We don't do shit for nothing. Everything is strategic. And notice the agent is notice the principal. So hit that like, hit that subscribe button, man. We have to go ahead and roll that quick because we got so many clips to go over. It's going to take us a while to go through all of this stuff. So let's just roll that first. I want to roll this first clip, man. Okay. We're going to roll that 8-minute one first and see. Okay. Hey, y'all hit that like. Hit that subscribe button, man.
This is what we did to help out Dr. Kevorkian. We made sure that his lawyer got this knowledge. We went in there and we dug up a writ of quo warranto. A writ of quo warranto. Alright? Now, this doesn't look like much, but let me tell you something. What we're talking about doing here, see, most cities, at least in the state of Michigan, are by Public Act 230 Public Acts or Public Act 287 of Public Acts, and in every one of them there is a rights and powers section. Usually it's recorded at 2.2 or 3.1, and it basically says, and I quote, subject to the Constitution of the United States and the general laws of the state of Michigan, the city of or the township of has rights and powers too. And then it starts listing the rights and powers. Right to have a police department, right to have a fire department, right to have a city hall, right, and it starts listing all these powers. Now, the antithesis to the argument is that if they're not within the Constitution of the United States and the general laws of the state of Michigan, they don't have any rights and powers. Does that make sense to everybody? In other words, they're in violation of their corporate charter, their franchise. They promised they would be within the Constitution of the United States and the general laws of the state of Michigan. Now, a lot of people, they don't understand the power of this argument, so I want to really push this one home. I want you to understand. Whenever these little townships and these little cities and what have you, they start acting like King Farouk and that you don't matter and that they don't got to listen to you, this is what I want you to do. You ask them a pointed question and ask them, are you violating my constitutionally secured civil rights by however you claim they are? Because if you are, you have just waived your right to be the city of. And they'll laugh at you for a little bit, okay? Then you explain to them Public Act 230 of Public Acts, which states the rights and powers section subject to the Constitution of the United States and the general laws of the state of Michigan. You have rights and powers. The antithesis to that argument is if you're not going to be within the Constitution of the United States or the general laws of the state of Michigan and you're going to violate my constitutional rights and trample my rights, what we're going to do here is we're going to go for a writ of mandamus in quo warranto. Well, that's a legal term.
Hey, since he got that music in that one, I'm gonna play this one right here. It's another one where it actually shows it close up. But before I play that, let me just go over some real quick. So he's talking about a writ, a warranto, right? A warranto rent. What it is by what authority? Meaning, where do they derive their delegation of authority, right? And then being that the United States is a republic, not a democracy. So don't get that in your head. There's not no damn democracy. You pledge allegiance to the republic for which it stands, right? So we're talking about a writ quo warranto. You're talking about by what authority? Delegation of authority, DOA, right? And it says a writ warranto by what authority is a legal action used to challenge any individual rights to hold a public or corporate office. It commands an official to show by what warrant, and keep in mind warrant, right? Break those two words down. War, you know what war mean, right? And then rant, it's like somebody going on and on and on about something. Right, we'll pull the etymology on it, right? The warrant, right? But it says, but by what warrant they hold their position, often used to disqualify office holders who lack legal qualifications, where improper selected or usurping powers. Keep in mind that word, it says usurping powers. I wish I could turn my but you know how they do me. If I try to do it off my laptop, they'll be chopping this class up. So we had to do it. We're gonna have to do it a certain way. So I just want you to keep in mind what a writ warranto is. It's the challenge. It's challenging the by what authority do they derive their authority from? And like I say, being that this is a republic, they derive their authority from the people, from we the people, and we the people goes hand in hand with the Constitution, which is the supreme law of the land. Treaties and the Constitution is the supreme law of the land. So therefore, they have to have in order to be legitimized, they had to be legitimized by the Constitution. So just keep that in mind as we going through all of this, right? So let me roll this again, and then that's so you'll got a better understanding of where we're going. Let me roll this guy again. Hold on.
And this is what we did. This is what we did to help out Dr. Kevorkian. We made sure that his lawyer got this knowledge. We went in there and we dug up a writ of quo warranto. A writ of quo warranto. All right. Now, this doesn't look like much, but let me tell you something. What we're talking about doing here. See, most cities, at least in the state of Michigan, are by Public Act 230 Public Acts or Public Act 287 of Public Acts, and in every one of them there is a rights and powers section. Usually it's recorded at 2.2 or 3.1, and it basically says, and I quote, subject to the Constitution of the United States and the general laws of the state of Michigan, the city of or the township of has rights and powers too. And then it starts listing the rights and powers. Right to have a police department, right to have a fire department, right to have a city hall, right. And it starts listing all these powers. Now, the antithesis to the argument is that if they're not within the Constitution of the United States and the general laws of the state of Michigan, they don't have any rights and powers. Does that make sense to everybody? In other words, they're in violation of their corporate charter, their franchise. They promised they would be within the Constitution of the United States and the general laws of the state of Michigan. Now, a lot of people, they don't understand the power of this argument, so I want to really push this one home. I want you to understand. Whenever these little townships and these little cities and what have you, they start acting like King Farouk and that you don't matter and that they don't got to listen to you, this is what I want you to do. You ask them a pointed question and ask them, are you violating my constitutionally secured civil rights by however you claim they are? Because if you are, you have just waived your right to be the city of. And they'll laugh at you for a little bit, okay? Then you explain to them Public Act 230 of Public Acts, which states the rights and powers section subject to the Constitution of the United States and the general laws of the state of Michigan. You have rights and powers. The antithesis to that argument is if you're not going to be within the Constitution of the United States or the general laws of the state of Michigan and you're going to violate my constitutional rights and trample my rights, what we're going to do here is we're going to go for a writ of mandamus in quo warranto. That's a legal term, fancy legal term. But it is an ancient law that goes way back to England in the ancient times. And basically here is a judgment and a capious action for it, right? You put down here the case. The case came on regularly for trial before the Honorable, and you put the judge's name in there, whatever it is, on a jury trial or non-jury trial, dated such and such. The name appeared as for your counsel, and the name appeared for opposing counsel, right? The court heard the testimony and examined the proofs offered by the parties. The court considered itself fully advised in the premise filed in its findings of fact and conclusions of law, and directed that judgments be entered in accordance with such findings, right? Which means they figured out that they violated your constitutional rights. They didn't have a right to violate your constitutional rights, and in the hearing you showed they violated your constitutional rights, and the judge figured out they violated your constitutional rights. So now, for your prayer for relief, we're going to get this quo warranto. And this is exactly what happened to the Honorable Dr. Kevorkian.
Now, I'm pointing this out because not because of the writ. The writ is another deal. The writ is another deal. It's different types of writ, but that's one of them. But I'm pointing it out is that these subsidiary corporations calling themselves the city of, Philadelphia, the city of, or this, city of that, right? These places are all bound under the Constitution, right? That's what I'm getting at. And that even the franchise states, they all franchise. We're dealing with franchise corporations. We're dealing with a lot of foreign entities. We're dealing with foreign parasites. Keep that in mind as we go through all of this. We're dealing with foreign parasites, and in order to get the parasites off our back, we got to enforce the Constitution, and the Constitution pretty much drowns them out. But what's been happening is we haven't been enforcing the Constitution, so they just been operating in a rogue state, pretty much a chrome polished theories. They're using their chrome polished. I'm getting to that, right? Because that's the name of the topic of the class is chrome polished theories. That is what that means is it's a type of thing they've been having going on so long. Even though it's wrong, they never changed it. They just polish it up and just keep it shined up to make it look good in that position. But it's actually a fraudulent situation. It's a whole bunch of fraudulent situations going on with them violating the Constitution, our constitutional rights, right? And so let me cut to this. And then we're gonna come back to matter of fact, let's go into some more stuff, because I was like I was telling my Bible today that the FBI have no power to arrest. They're the federal, the FBI is just as federal as FedEx. FedEx would have more. Somebody that worked for FedEx arresting you would be similar to somebody, an FBI agent arresting you. A cop, police cannot make arrest. But they create a warrant. We're gonna get into that. They had to get a warrant. You ever be watching First 48? Because I was telling Mike Bauer this today. If you watch First 48, And when they got people in the room interrogating them, if they don't got enough evidence to file criminal charges and put a warrant out for them, then they can't arrest them. Police have no legal right to arrest. And if they do arrest you without a warrant, then that's kidnapping. And you got to start calling it what it is. It's kidnapping. It's not no arrest if he don't got no warrant. Because if they just pull you over, take you to jail for not signing a ticket or whatever they take you to jail for without a warrant, right? That's a violation of your Fifth Amendment and Fourth Amendment rights. They're violating, they're moving in color of law, right? Because most people that they're doing it to don't know the law, right? And when they do come in contact with somebody that do, they usually try to avoid them or handle them different, right? Because they don't want to be held accountable. So keep in mind, police cannot arrest nobody legally and without a warrant. Only people that really can arrest is the sheriff and U.S. Marshals. And if you notice, on a lot of the times when the FBI do these busts, they always have the sheriff with them to make the arrest. They got to bring the sheriff in to make the arrest. Because why? They are a foreign agency. Now let's get more into this foreign agency stuff. Watch this.
We're going to bring up several arguments right here. We're going to bring up warranto.
If you want to know how to get out of any court case, look no further than the Foreign Agents Registration Act, 22 U.S.C. 611. Every single prosecutor, judge, police officer register as foreign agents. This is why they never get prosecuted under the courts. The Foreign Agents Registration Act, 22 United States Code 611, is a law that imposes public disclosures, obligations on persons representing foreign interests. The United States corporation government is a foreign entity, so anyone who is working for that foreign entity has to have a foreign agent registration statement on file with the Department of Justice. So if your prosecutor who is trying to prosecute you does not have a FARA on file with the Department of Justice, motion to dismiss for fraud upon the court. Same thing with judges, police officers. If they don't have their foreign registration statements, they need to get out of here.
The question you should be asking is, why do police and lawyers and judges have to register with a foreign agency, register as a foreign agents? Why do they have to isn't the Constitution against foreign and domestic? I mean, foreigners, right? It's a clause in the Constitution that states that we must protect this from foreigners, right? So we're dealing with, when we're talking about magistrates and esquires and all of these different titles of so-called titles of nobility, which is really script when they redid the 13th Amendment. But these people have to register as foreign agencies. Why? Because they are not supposed to be here. The police is not supposed to be here. The police is stationed out of London. And like Rod told you on the last class we just did, they have to have guns because they are in a war zone. Cops don't even wear guns in London. They only wear guns for special missions. But they are occupying army. That's why they got to have guns and mace and nightsticks. Right? So keep in mind when you're dealing with these devils, these people, and you enforcing the Constitution, when you're dealing with the bar, right? Because the judge is a member of the bar, British accreditation registration. The lawyers are members of the bar. The police is connected with the bar, pretty much. They all run in cahoots together, and they're a foreign belligerent agency on our land. And right, and a lot of the stuff that's happening to us that they are doing is because we don't know. We didn't know that we should be enforcing the Constitution. Man, in the hood growing up, the Constitution is like, we don't even think, nobody give a damn about no Constitution in the hood, right? But this about to get ready to change now, man. It's a new day and time now. Right, they're about to get ready to change, man. Let's get more into this.
So guys, it looks like they're not even reading half of the stuff that I filed as far as paperwork and giving them the international bill of exchange that's notarized through my banks. None of that stuff seems to get through to them. So ignorance of the law does not mean you're above the law. So that's where they're going to be held liable at. And I'm going to keep pushing because they're trying to override everything that I'm saying as if I don't have rights as a living man. Like, who do they think they are? They really trying to make an example out of me, and I'm not going to let them. You know, and all my rebuttals is falling on deaf ears once again. But this is the last straw right here. I'm not taking no for an answer. I've already requested to have it appealed through a higher court. I gave them the paperwork to show that. I made sure they give me copies of everything that I'm giving them, but I made sure to make copies too because they're giving me copies in black and white. So like,
so pretty much that's another guy that's filing a writ warrant against the court system that he's entangled with to get them to, because what it's like, it's several different writs that you could do. One is it's called a mandarit. I think a mandarit. That's the name of it. That's to get them to go ahead proceed with the court case instead of keep on trying to hold you up. They hold some people in court 9-10 years on the same charge. Never got no kind of evidence on them. Just keep on bringing them back for the same thing. And that's what that Judge Joe Brown thing was when they had tried to lock him up, and then he had to go do the federal habeas corpus, right, to get out. But what that dude was just doing, he was going to file a writ to get them to cease and desist because they are not constitutional. You got to keep in mind everything under the Supreme Court is under the Judicial Act is pretty much administrative courts. Everything is administrative courts under that. So they are pretty much operating based on contracts and acceptance. Acceptance, meaning that a lot of, say, like, I'm gonna just give you an example. Say if you make sign a contract with me for the mow my yard for $50 every 2 weeks for 2 years, right? Now they say I don't want to pay you no more. So administrative court would just enforce that contract, saying that, oh, you got to pay him because you said you're gonna do this 2-year contract with him, pay him $50 per yard cut. So you got to go ahead and do it, right? That's what administrative courts is. Administrative courts are not here to enforce the Constitution, right? So most times, like I was telling my barber today, that they got criminal court listed. Traffic court listed as criminal court, right? It's only 2 courts, right? Criminal court, and you got civil court, right? And then you could go into like federal criminal court, different levels of it, circuit court, this and that. But what I'm saying is there's only civil court and criminal court. So in criminal court, in traffic court, they got it listed as criminal court. And in criminal court, you must be handed an indictment. You got to be handed a warrant and an indictment. Let me play this right here.
If you feel like USCIS is just ignoring your case, you could actually sue the United States government. I'm serious. There's something called a writ of mandamus where you can actually file suit against the U.S. government because you think.
Hold on, that ain't it. I want to play this video right here where he talk about where is it at?
All right, so let me explain some things that you might not fully grasp yet. You're supposed to receive a warrant before any arrest. The reason that you're supposed to receive the warrant before any arrest is because everything that happens in court is a charge. A charge is something that can be discharged. You see, if you had received the warrant as you're supposed to, the way that the law is set up, you would have been able to take that security and you would have been able to take it to the 72-hour window at the Treasury, and you would have been able to discharge that, taking care of all of your debts. Because of the fact that you're unable to discharge and settle the accounts, operating in clean hands, your body becomes surety, and that is why you end up in jail. It's not because of the fact that you did something, because the remedy was supposed to be offered through giving you the warrant in order for you to discharge and settle it in honor.
Police need warrants based on probable cause. It's your Fourth Amendment right. In Johnson versus the United States, the Supreme Court found that warrants cannot be based on overreach. A warrant must be approved by a judge and found to have probable cause.
All right, so that's why when you watching First 48, right? I'm gonna go back to the ticket thing. That's why when you watch the First 48, they really can't make an arrest without solid evidence, and they got to prove that, and then they got to be signed. A warrant got to be signed before they arrest you. So if they pull you over and try to force you to sign a ticket, and they say, "Oh, if you don't sign, I'm gonna arrest you," that's not being arrested. That's being kidnapped. That's being forced to cohesion and to contract with them because they got guns. These people are violating, they violating so heavy, man, because people ain't standing up to them, and people ain't knowing what's going down and stepping to these people, right? They dealing in chrome-plated theories, right? But like I was saying with the traffic court, when you go into traffic court, they don't get, you're supposed to have a trial by jury if anybody's suing you for over $20. Right? If they're suing you for over $20, you got a right to face your accusers. You got a right to a trial by jury. But usually what happens in traffic court is they roll you in there and they make you waive your rights. They come up, they say, well, they say, line up by your last name, right? And they say, well, could the, A's come to the front? And when the A's come to the front, they say, oh, well, sign this sheet of paper. And then when you sign that sheet of paper, you don't even know you waived your rights, and then they put you on the auction block and then hit you with a number. But just so happen, say you go in there and say, "Oh, hey, I don't want to waive any rights. What rights do I have? I don't want to waive any rights." They gonna try to tell you don't got no rights, really, right? Because you waived your rights with a license, and we're gonna get into license. I got a tape coming out on called Oath and License, because that's a license is another way they're running this fraud on our land. I'm gonna get into the limited liability license and how the doctors, all these guys got license and their license is limited, which is why they can't cure nothing. Because if they would have with having a license, if they would have cured something, they would be going against their license, and they would pretty much get in trouble and go down with it. Yeah, man. Hey, peace, and everybody hit that like, hit that subscribe button. So usually, like I say, in traffic court, they get you to waive all your rights. They put you on the auction block. They start hitting y'all with the numbers, right? Court costs. Oh, seatbelt ticket, $200 plus court costs plus this and that, and then get him up out of here. But one time when I figured out the game, once I figured out the traffic game, y'all. And I went up in there. I said, "Hey, well, hell no, I don't want to waive any rights." You know what they did? She said, "Come on, could you come up?" She called me to the side. She made me talk low. She said, "Could you talk lower your voice a little bit, lower my voice?" I'm like, "I ain't even talking loud." She already lower your voice. She said, I just looked at your driving record and don't look like you got nothing on your driving record because you pay $25 and get out of here." That's what she said, because you pay $25. Hey, but the first time I paid $25 because I ain't know the game, right? Like, I ain't know the game all the way. I just knew, hey, I ain't waiving no rights. I had got to that point where, hey, I ain't waiving no rights in this joint. And so when I didn't waive no rights, they said, "Could you pay $25 and get out of here?" Right? So I paid the $25 thinking that, hey, well, $25, I don't give a damn about that. Right? But I still lost that case by $20 to $25. Why? Because you have a right to trial by jury if they're suing you for over $20. So if they get you to pay $25, they beat you. They beat you. They get you to pay $25. You pretty much played no contest and paid the ticket for $25. right? So, but if I would have said, no, I don't want to pay shit. I got a right to, I got a right to face my people, right? To face my peers. And they don't really want to do that because it's really illegal. What they're doing is illegal. Their traffic court is really illegal unless you waiving your rights. If you don't waive your rights, they just drop the charges and get you up out of there. This is how the Freemasons, ones that be beating those tickets, they beat the tickets by standing on the Constitution. If you square business, you know what I'm talking about. You go in there, you still hold your square on the Constitution. If you ain't broke no real laws, they can't really do nothing. If you haven't broke no common laws, traffic tickets is not no damn real ordinance, city ordinance and codes is not no goddamn it's not no law, it's not no it's not real law. It's all corporate, all commercial crimes. All crimes are commercial. All crimes are commercial so they can make money. Now let's talk about this this license thing. Because you got to have a license to go fishing. You got to have a license to drive. You got to have a license to practice certain professions on the land that we practiced before they came. We didn't have we didn't need no license to cut hair. You got to have a license to cut hair. What? Who said that? You got to have a license to go fishing. You got to have a license to practice medicine. You got to have a license. Listen to that now. License. You got to have a license to do all of these, to practice. Because keep in mind, they cannot legitimize, they only can practice on your land, being that they're foreign parasites. Foreign parasites only can practice. That's why they say, oh, they set up a practice. The lawyers, they got to set up a practice. The doctors, they got to set up a practice because they can't legitimize and because of their license. Their license is limited them to the corporate fictions. What is the corporate fiction? The corporate fiction says that they got all of these diseases patent and that they selling patent drugs based on these diseases, which they say that there's no cure for. So if you're a licensed practitioner, listen to that now, a licensed practitioner, then you got to stay within the boundaries of your limited license. And in that limited license, the medical World Health Organization says that there's no cure for all these diseases, which we know to be otherwise, but you know, they full of shit. They cannot cure, because if they was a cure, it would go against the system. It would go against their very own system. So in the hospitals, they have chrome-plated theories. That's what the name of this title is, Polished Paradox and Chrome-Plated Theories. They have chrome-plated theories on treating certain things. They treat things. They don't cure nothing. They are there to be hospitable to you, not to cure you, right? So it's all part of the game. Let's keep on going because I got so many.
After they murdered all the prophets, they used the prophet's name to perpetrate their fraud, and the world bought it. And so they have the sign, they have a crown, and they have a cross stuck through it. And they have in hoc signo vince. And that means in this sign, we conquer. And so you got all these Asiatics, knowing that the Nazarene, who was of their same bloodline, had hair like lamb's wool, and skin like burnished brass, it was burnt in the oven. And they got a Roman sitting up there, and they know that he was a rabbi of the highest level of the crystalline mind of the Essene Brotherhood, Jew. And they lied on him, said that he established Christianity, and that he brought it to the earth under a cloud of glory with the cross. And they all know that he came in the sign of Pisces and brought the sign of the fish. And they lied on him, and they murdered him and been murdering our people the same way, and they still don't put two and two together. And now, because this is a long war, don't think that this thing just began. It didn't really just begin. The war between the Moors and the Romans are really ancient. They come from the Punic Wars, on up to the Crusades, on up to the Battle of Poitiers, near Tours, near Poitiers, France. 1812 on Lake Michigan, and then our final fall. They call the Spanish War, which is really Louisiana territory, not Spain on the other side. Then they divided us, they called the Trail of Tears, took all the children from the mothers, murdered all those who had the culture, then branded us Negro, black, and colored, and told us they brought us here on ships, and we lost not only our identity, lost our consciousness that we're absolutely connected to this land, absolutely indigenous. Although we ain't Indians, so some people call us that. But you must understand when in history, when they say Indian and black or Moor, they're all relative, except the black and Indian are misnomers. Moor is the true identity. Pope Philip II, 1511.
All right, so we got that part. Let me read this. So registration, Social Security, right? This is where they get it. This is where they derive it from in the King James Bible, right? Registration, Social Security. Luke chapter 2, verse 1, it says, and it came to pass that in those days that there went out a decree from Caesar, and that all the world should be taxed. Right? So Caesar sent out a decree saying that all the world should be taxed. Now, how do you tax the whole world without putting a number or a chattel? You got to make them chattel property and actually put a number to them. This is where the beginning of pretty much the Social Security number and pretty much tagging and bagging people as chattel property. Luke chapter 2, verse 1. All right. Then we go to another part where they make us subjects under Roman jurisdiction, because we keep in mind this is chrome-plated theories stamped by Rome. Right, and it says, this is Romans chapter 13, verse 1, where it says, let every soul be subjects under the higher power, for there is no power but God. The powers that be are ordinate by God. So whosoever therefore resides, the power resideth the ordinance of God, and they that resist shall receive themselves damnation. So pretty much this is sanctums. When you say in subjects, Romans chapter 13, verse 1, you're talking about sanctums, where the Pope 1302 classify all souls belong to the Pope or to the church. Right? So keep that in mind as we go on. Now, present, because in the courts, because all this is gonna tie in together, right? I'm doing all this so I can do an AI overview over this class later too, because all this is gonna tie in, right? Hit that, hey, everybody, hit that like, hit that subscribe button right now. But present, right? Because you must be presented, right? And this is Romans chapter 12, verse 1, where it says, I beseech you, therefore, brethren, by the mercy of God, that ye present your bodies as living sacrifices, wholly acceptance unto God, which is your reasonable service. So right there in Romans chapter 12, verse 1 is where they said they wanted us to present ourselves in front of God. And keep in mind, in the course, they talk about in God we trust and this and that, right? And they make you swear on the Bible. And Doc said that was a contradiction within itself, to making somebody that they suspect as being a devil to swear on the Bible, then tell the truth. So help me God, right? So help me God. That's a game within itself. But the present is Romans chapter 12, verse 1. Go read that. And then the represent is Luke chapter 11, verse 46, where it says, and he said, woe unto ye, you also ye lawyers, for ye lay men with burden, grievous to be born, and ye yourself touch not the burdens with one of your fingers. Woe unto you lawyers, right? So the lawyers, which is really means liars, right? Because if you up there defending that guy, you like if you are the defense attorney and you defending a guy in a murder case who actually they got on tape gunning the guy down, and you got to sit up there and convince the jury to make this guy not guilty, right? So you gotta lie. You gotta be a legal liar. Police gotta legal be liars. It's part of their thing. So to represent Luke, go check that out. Represent Luke chapter 11, verse 46 through 52. That ties in with that part. Okay, let's roll some more.
No cures. Pay attention, it's free.
No cures.
Just discussion of disease.
Yes, complaining about what Rome does to us. And then even on connotative linguistics again, then calling him white man, which means sovereign. And it doesn't apply to him. And as soon as you call him sovereign, you just call him God of the land, then he acts like it, then we call him racist.
How do you define sovereign?
Sovereign is
and sovereignty.
Or sovereignty generally is politically accepted around the globe. And this applies to nations or persons that are part of the nations, and outside of that venue, sovereignty generally does not apply. Meaning that me and you, brothers, family, right? I respect your rights as a man, as a brother of the blood, in divine laws of nature. The sovereign right is when we recognize the honor of our mothers and fathers, which means when we honor the truth of our family. That's called natal, or the navel, that you're born a woman, ma and son, mother and son. The principle that sovereignty is recognized within the national venue. It is not recognized outside the national venue. As an example, if you make it very simple. Say a Chinese brothers in here talking with us, right? And we're having a discussion about our communities. And so most of our people not knowing the truth of bloodline and pedigree, because it's not taught in our community, we'll say, my black uncle and my light-skinned orange aunt and my Negro cousin, and they're talking like that. And it's commonly accepted because they don't know better, right? So a Chinese coming here and he says he's Chinese, or a brother come here, say from Korea, etc. Another brother come, say from Zimbabwe, etc. And they're coming in here, and what we'll do, we'll take those brands and put them on the table of discussion with national names and expect the same respect and effect. Then if them brothers turn away, we'll accuse them of being racist, acting like they're European, when actually what they're trying to signal to us is that we're in dishonor. Do you understand? And so if a Chinese come in here and start talking, well, Doc, I was checking you out, man, and I saw you was going into the culture, man. You was dropping a lot of jewels on us and everything. Well, what do you have to say for the light-skinned yellow boys? Yeah, light-skinned yellow guys. At that time, he just lost his sovereignty. He just lost his birthright.
What did he do that made that happen?
As soon as he said that he's light-skinned yellow guy.
What did he do when he did that?
That he took on connotative linguistics. Now, in real world politics, sovereignty is not recognized.
What
he just gave
say?
up. Chinese.
Right. Chinese, right? Now, we would be classified as Moors according to they on their documents, right? Here we go right here. I want to roll this one right here. This is an important one right here. Hey, listen to this one right here. We're going to go over it. Listen to this one right here.
Case law is nothing more than some dumb attorney nonsense. Every action proceeds in its own way or course. Constitutions and laws precede the judiciary. A new adjudication does not make a new law, but declares the old. Because adjudication is the utterance of the law, and by adjudication the law is newly revealed, which was for a long time. A court can only declare what the law is, and whether consistent with the law of God and the fundamental or constitutional law of society. It is the duty of a judge to declare, enunciate the law, not to enact the law or make it. Judges are by no means favorable to things raised recently and subtly against the common law statutes. A judge should keep his jurisdiction within the limits of his commission. The limits of their commission is in the Bill of Rights, so you would need to read that so you know what is yours and what is not theirs. That law is best which leads least to the discretion of the judge. That the judge is...
Hey, so all these judges, they can't create no new laws, and the laws, any laws that's created after the Judicial Act, it's got to align with the Constitution. If it don't align with the Constitution, it's fraud. And we pretty much proven that the Judicial Act and anything that comes under that was fraudulent. The Supreme Court has already ruled that it was a fraudulent deal. And we actually building a case on from that perspective, from the 1789 hijack of our Constitution. We building a file from that perspective, right? So keep in mind, I don't give a damn what law they got on the books or what new law they created, what new act. I don't give a damn about no acts, none of that. If it don't align with the Constitution, which is the supreme law of the land, and the treaties that they set up with us as the Moors and natives of this land, then that shit is fraud. And we got to start treating it as such and addressing it as such and making it publicly known worldwide on the microphone. What these guys are and who they are and what they are all about. I'm starting to realize, man, Noble Jew Ali couldn't stress it enough when he said we got to enforce the Constitution. He couldn't have stressed it enough, man. I'm telling you, he couldn't have. Hey, shout out Taj Sharik Bey, man, the Master Teacher Taj Sharik Bey. Yeah, man. Noble Jew Ali couldn't have stressed it enough, man, when he said we got to enforce the Constitution on these guys. And we have not been enforcing the Constitution for so long. These guys have been now stuck in place. They're chrome-plated fucking theories stamped by Rome. It's all color of law, all goddamn color of law. We're not talking about real criminals, real killers and murderers. That's another subject. We're talking about the illegal fraud going on here at the North Gate, where the true heirs are paying foreigners rent. The true heirs are the main ones who are being taken to fraudulent traffic court. When you go to traffic court, 90% of the people in there is Nubians. How's it happening? Because we are the desired target of this system. With these chrome-plated fucking theories they got stamped by Rome. They said give over to what Caesar's is Caesar's, right? Well, everything I don't got shit that belong to Caesar. And if you're talking about his fiat money, shit, that ain't no money anyway. We ain't got no damn money since Executive Order 192, right? So let's get more into their chrome-plated theories, because they got these motherfuckers been practicing medicine for how long? Have the medicine organization been in play? And they ain't cured shit yet. And they got the cure, but the license permit they can't cure it, because if they was the cure, then it'd cut off the money. We making if I'm making $10 billion a year creating on a patent that creates drugs for a particular disease that there is no cure for, they say, then it's a never-ending cycle of monetary, which is why they keep licensing it. You got to relicense. You got to renew your license. You got to do this license, which is a contract. The reason why you got to have a license is because they using chrome-plated theories. And even though the theories are wrong, they polish them up and put a hard coat on the outside to make it look like it's right. Right?
Police have no powers of arrest whatsoever. Let that sink in. At the realm of England, we have it on record, on tape, from the Deputy Police Crime Commissioner, nonetheless, admitting that police do not have lawful powers of arrest under the PACE Act as it is currently operating. Apart from the fact that PACE is an act is legislation, and legislation is not common law authority. What we have now is the councils giving licence to the police. The councils have no authority to licence the police or anybody else. Parliament has declared itself sovereign. Parliament is not sovereign. The people are. And the power that we give to our police constables comes from the people by our consent. Cressida Dick nonetheless said, we police by consent. So what has gone terribly wrong? So pause and think. If authority comes from the people, who authorise what we are seeing now? Police are now licensed by the councils. The councils are meant to be public service bodies, public servants. And most of those councils are now bankrupt. They have incorporated, and once incorporated, they are no longer operating as true public bodies. They are operating as corporate entities. And under Section 79 of the Local Government Act 1888, when a council incorporates the liabilities of the inhabitants, shall become the liabilities of said council. Now, liability means responsibility for costs, debts, obligations, your utilities, your mortgages, your council tax. The beat goes on. So by classifying us as the general public, by treating us as legal persons, the system shifts that liability back onto you. You become the person of significant control of a company you never knew you had, i.e. the all caps name legal fiction. You carry the debt, utilities, council tax, mortgages, penalties, fines. But we are the inhabitants of the land, so lawfully, those liabilities sit with the council. That's why everything is routed through commerce, contracts, registration, bonds, QSIP numbers and accounts, banking. And that's why everything has reference. And that's why the system double bills. You repay it because re means again you pay it twice. Utilities and infrastructure are securities and securitized years in advance. So why are you being charged again? This is called the double dip. Now, let's bring this back to policing. So, under the common law, for a crime to exist, there must be injury, harm, loss. No harm, no injury, no loss, no crime. So let's keep it simple. For example, if someone is doing 33 in a 30 zone, where is the victim? Who was harmed? Who suffered loss? A speeding camera can't be injured. It can't speak. It can't swear an affidavit. It can't give evidence. This is not a crime. This is administrative enforcement. And we give up our unalienable rights of travel for the benefits and privileges of a state. A police constable is meant to operate under common law, to protect, to keep the peace. They are trained to deal with living men and women. Policy officers are dealing with persons, legal fictions, legislation. So, at common law, we have no duty to cooperate with these policy officers' inquiries. Yeah, the general public, that legal status trick is to lower us to the legal fiction collectively. Now, this was confirmed in Rice v. Connolly, 1966. You are not obliged to answer questions or assist an investigation. Refusal alone is not obstruction. And that was Rice v. Connolly, 1966. It was reinforced in Neil v. DPP in 2020, where a conviction was overturned after a man refused to give his name and address. But it was deemed he had a right to remain silent, and that right was lawful. So when you receive forms asking you to name yourself or another driver, you are being asked to aid their system. Driving is a commercial term. By filling it in, you step into their jurisdiction. Lawfully, you are not required to do that. Police will often ask, do you understand? Which means, do you stand under their jurisdiction? This is why you ask a question back. Asking keeps you in control. Asking as king. So, what we are witnessing is not law. It is compliance with an administrative entity. They are just people in magic uniforms using magic words and magic pieces of paper, now working to target with no lawful powers of arrest whatsoever. They are corporate entities. Policing is supposed to be by the consent of the Parliament, of the people. Not Parliament, sorry. Not councils, not corporations, not acts. Something has gone very wrong. Now let that sink in. Magic people in magic uniforms. All they have is fear and force. And a fiction in the minds of men. Follow Carly for more tips on how to decode Clown World. Join the realm of England. Find Carly at Dark Matters.
Oh yeah, she's dope, right? From England, though. But the same thing applies here, right? The same thing applies. And like I said, so a lot of the stuff that they got our brothers and sisters in prison for, and prisons are pretty much body warehouses, because we could get into get that paradigm. We had to get a whole tape breakdown on how the prison industrial system is pretty much fraud, and it's based on incentives, meaning they got a bed incentives in these private owned prisons, meaning they don't got, if the state don't arrest a certain amount of people, they got to pay them a certain amount of this shit about to get ready to go out. Right? Because we ain't just speaking out against it no more. We pretty much going against it completely. Right? So if you haven't committed some broke common crime, a real crime like murder, burglary, where somebody took loss or proper damage to their property, it's no crime. Speeding is not a crime. We don't condone selling crack cocaine, but selling crack cocaine is not a crime. Selling drugs is not a crime. They sell drugs right now at a pharmacy. And keep in mind the word pharmacy translates into witchcraft. But you can sell drugs with a license. You can sell crack over the counter with a license. But if you don't got no license, then it's illegal. See, that's what they did. They came over and they in order to they came over with this sanctums and this doctrine of discovery, all just, because it's all started with the Spanish Inquisition and overthrowing the Moors, right? It's all started with the Spanish Inquisition and overthrowing us worldwide. Don't ever get that twisted. I don't give a fuck who you think you are and what you think you know. That's what it's all about. I don't give a damn who, and if anybody tell you otherwise, they full of shit and run from them immediately. If they tell you that this wasn't about, this don't start with the Spanish Inquisition and the overthrowing of the Moors worldwide. I'm telling you, if they tell you otherwise, they ain't on it. I'm telling you. So it's like this shit, they come over and they demonic whatever they couldn't capitalize off, because this is dealing with all caps, right? It's all cap, right? So they couldn't capitalize off of it. They demonetized it and made it what they call illegal. And right, but it ain't illegal if you get a license from them, because you thinking that the drugs, all those narcotics they selling ain't some shit that'll kill a motherfucker dead, right? But long as they got a license to sell it to you, it's cool. But the cat on the streets, they go score his shit from some guy, right? And then he's selling this shit, but he ain't getting no license. Oh well, see, he going to crime, but that's not a crime though. You can all them brothers that's in jail for drug charges can get out of jail and beat all those charges if they knew the game. But most of them plead guilty and waive their rights. Most of them plead guilty and waive all their rights in the court. So that's why they get all their time. They agree to the time, pretty much. They agree to their own slavery. Because if they can't prove that you sold crack cocaine to somebody that hit that shit and died, or hit the crack and now they walk with a limp, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna tell you what a crime is when they come down to selling drugs, right? And you don't got no license. License from them. You don't got no license from them. If you was to sell somebody some drugs, right? And so like the people that sold Rich Homie the shit that they sold him, the shit that they sold Rich Homie was some bad shit. So Rich Homie folks can sue, right, for damages. That's actually a real crime because he sold him some shit that wasn't no good shit. See, that's a crime. But if you sell a guy some shit and the guy get high and the guy say, "Oh, that's some good shit," you know, that ain't no crime. If they can't prove you sold a guy something and the guy said it wasn't no good shit, and then I hit the shit and now I'm crippled or now I'm half retarded, because it's some people out here that hit some shit that ain't never came back from it, man. I know a guy that hit some shit, right? And now he walking around with a Cadillac steering wheel, just the steering wheel to the car, around the city like he really driving a Cadillac, and he only got a steering wheel. He bagging when he pull up at the store and bag in and shit with the steering wheel and everything. Yeah, he got a right to go sue whoever sold him that shit, because once he hit that shit, he been stuck in the he been stuck in a artificial Cadillac, make-believe Cadillac ever since. Yeah, man. Or you see them guys, we ride down the street and you see a guy, he'll be hollering, "Hey, what the hell you looking at?" You looking at like, damn, this nigga he looking at you, he saying this shit. You like, damn, this nigga looking at, is he looking at me? Man, they real bad like that in Atlanta, man. In Atlanta, it's real bad like that, man. It's a whole bunch of them people out there like that they didn't hit some shit and they ain't never came back to man. So the guy that sold him that shit, that's a crime, right? Now, but if the guy ain't sell, if you can't prove that the guy sold you some bad shit, then it's not really a crime. But I guess what I'm getting at here, because we don't condone in drug dealing. That ain't what we're saying. We are saying there are a lot of the stuff that they made illegal, but you can have a license to do it, like prostitution. They say prostitution is legal in Las Vegas if you got a license. They got the Bunny Ranch. They got all these different brothels in Las Vegas that's legally operating with a license, right? But if you don't got no license, then it's a crime, and that's not right. That's not right nowhere on the land. That's not right on. Big Mama don't like the way that's being ran, where you can say, "Oh, on the land here, as long as you got a license, it's good." You can go hunting. If you go hunting with, you got to have a license to go hunting on your own damn land. You got to have a license. Why? Because what they're saying is they really trying to play us like we don't exist, like we artificial people. And if you artificial, in order to do any move, any kind of mechanism, you got to have our permission to do any mechanism as a dead entity under these trusts that they created, because they really try to label us as dead after 7 years old. We're gonna get into that too. The Social Security Trust.
Any judge or magistrate who does not comply with his/her oath to the Constitution of the United States wars against that Constitution and engages in acts in violation of the supreme law of the land. The judge is engaged in acts of treason.
Right there. So any judge that's going against they all bound by rules. You remember in the Matrix? Morpheus told Neo that they all bound by rules. What are those rules? The rules are the Constitution. They can't go outside of it. They created a whole bunch of mechanisms outside of it that only can go if you agree to it. This shit is all based on acceptance. We've been agreeing to a lot of shit that we ain't know what the hell we was agreeing to. But them days is over now. I'm telling you, man. We've been agreeing to a lot of shit that they've been running fraudulent on us, on our own land. I'm still ain't got over the part that Moors, indigenous people, the real Amaru kind of people, paying foreigners rent. I'm still ain't over it. How some damn Hindus gonna charge us some rent on our own damn land, and they way from over Hindustan? You over way from Hindustan. That's how you know this system is rigged. where foreigners could come over and on our land and then charge us rent. And if shit ain't rigged, you think we ain't in a war? We in a constant state of war? Shit.
If you look up the word black first, so that the people don't recognize what's going on, and by the time that the people start figuring out, they have no power to make a change or to alter or to modify. And so the president's position is he's simply a pinata for the people who are really running him, who live in Boston and in Brooklyn.
Wow.
And who actually own the corporation. It's why sometimes I'll say, look at here. These are the three men who own the United States Corporation Company.
But what's this, when you say they own, are these three current owners, or were these the ones that succeeded it to somebody else?
Now, so now you call corporate succession.
Yeah, corporate
now,
succession.
So people who understand that principle, when you give them the documents, all you need to go into the archives of corporate succession, and you'll see who owns it today. And what you keep finding, that the same people who own it are all Khazarians. And who are the Khazarians? People who've been pretending to be somebody that they're not. And the major operation that they hide behind politically is the word Jew. Now, this is why so much effort is put in. It's why every time someone goes into the head or the CEO of the corporation, they have to make their pledge to Israel. And people looking at it.
Now, hey, shout out to Master Teacher Todd Sharik Bey. Now, he said they hiding in Boston and Brooklyn, right? And they also got communities in New Jersey, in upstate New York, and they got communities in Utah, right? And some of them call themselves the Mormons. The Mormons. But keep in mind, the people that he talking about, the Khazarians, they front guys. The real guys, the same color as you and I. The real guys. Let me show you one of the black nobles that passed it over to Queen Elizabeth. Watch this right here. Check this shit out right here, y'all.
You see that? They know the truth. His wife know he's in the presence of the descendant of emperors. That's why he got the regalia medallion on his neck. Only emperors wear these things. Or children of the emperors. I'm going to show it to you. I don't make shit up. This is how your civil right went through because of him. Let me show you again if you get lost. You see that? That's his wife next to Eisenhower. Do you see Eisenhower got that chain on his neck? No. Eisenhower is a public servant. He's a president as a public servant under the Crown of London. Because this guy were the one that passed over the royalty to Queen Elizabeth. He actually went to here in America in the behalf of the Queen because that was an exchange taking place. This was in 1950. Oh, you just don't know, don't you? I got receipt and you just have speculation. Let me educate you on that shit. You got speculation, I got receipts. Now, that's why he carried, like I said, the regalia medallion, meaning the descendant. You see what is on his chest? Let me show you. See what he wear? Let me show you what he wear. This is what I do. Let me show you how far back this shit come from. Let me show you something better than I can tell you. Okay? You don't know who you messing with. This is what's on his neck. You see that? This is what he wear. These are the descendant of emperors and kings. Let me show you again.
The 13 black noble families.
This is King Charles right there. He was pure blood. He carried a crown. And everybody that comes, that means that's his line. This is his line in the bottom. That's why they all have the necklace. See the necklace? That is the regalia medallion, meaning he is a part of the what we call royal bloodline.
Now check this, because a lot of people still promoting. Somebody said, "Are you Moorish? Or am I Moorish?" Is that a trick question? Some. I'm not. I don't really. I don't like the word Moorish. I'm just a Moor. I'm just a Moor, man. I ain't no Moorish. Well, I mean, Moor. I mean, I could pass as Moorish, but I like just Moor. Why I gotta be Moorish? Are you Moorish? Of course, I'm a Moor. Of course, I'm an original Marocan. Of course, I'm a Marocan. Well, who are you? Are you a Marocan? Of course, I'm an original Marocan. What kind of question is that? If you ain't no original Marocan, you ain't from this damn land. What land you from? Yeah, so yeah, I am a Marocan. The plumed serpent people, the seafaring people, the people who could go on the waves. And we went around the world and civilized the world. We left from over here in America and went build sewer systems in the 700s over in Europe. We set up outposts in Africa. Wasn't no white, look, the white game is a game. I don't believe the white people even had no kind of game until 1960. Their storyline is then this new storyline that they created was like a 1960 storyline, because we still dealing with the world's fairest cover up, the Tarzanian Empire. We can get into it now. So people's got to remember that they were the slaves. They were the Slavics. Moors could never be slaves. Keep that in mind. Right? Let's roll some more of this shit from the top. We got so much.
In 1492, 7 countries invaded Black America. For 283 years, they bombed the infrastructure and killed and maimed and pillaged and destroyed America. America surrendered in 1775, and they began founding America in the late 1700s, early 1800s, and they took the technology back to England. England, Europe, China, they did not have electricity until the 1800s. That the technology that they got from the destructions of Chicago, New York, Atlanta, Los Angeles, Cleveland, they destroyed America and took our technology back.
Yeah, so me and Roy did a tape on that called The Great World's Fast Cover Up. Keep in mind, we the Amarucan people, right? Because some people who are out of their damn mind don't like the word Moor for whatever personal reason they got. But we don't got time to argue with clowns. Cause we got the paperwork on what they call us. What's on record, what they call us over here. And all this new shit, these new tribal names they got, all these new franchise corporate names that they created after the fact, is to cover up the fact that we are Moors. That's the fact. That's the fact. And you know what? Moor is a term just like Chinese. It's different types of Chinese in China. Right? There's different type of Europe. It's different types of nationality in Europe. There's different types of nationalities in what they call in the so-called Africa, which is really a Cuba land. It's different nationalities over there, but they would say that the African denotes all the nationalities encompassed into that one continent. Where over here, the name of the title is Moor, and that encompassed several different families on this land in Turtle Island. We had different families under but all of us were classified as Moors. Amarucans, that's what they call us, Amarucan people. It's a Spanish, the Moor is actually an English, Moor is actually an English translation of Amarucan. So if you don't like the word Moor, Amarucan. But I don't see most of the people that's going against the title Moor is because they got their own set of selfish reasons, personal reasons. They ain't got nothing to do with facts and historical facts. Nobody that's dissing saying that we wear Moors it ain't got nothing to do with historical facts. It's all personal. All like, because the Moors hurt my feelings when I was on the corner and the Moors said something about the Constitution and I didn't like it. So I don't like Moors and I don't just like the word Moor. Shut your bitch ass up. Shut your bitch ass up, nigga. You know what I'm saying? We ain't got time for clowns.
You mentioned that you don't believe in God anymore. And first I would like to know.
All right, reason number one, the Dum Diversa. The Dum Diversa is a papal bull issued by Pope Nicholas V on June 18, 1452, authorizing King Afonso V of Portugal to conquer Saracens, pagans, and other unbelievers, reducing them to perpetual servitude. It served as a key religious justification of the enslavement of West Africans and the early Atlantic slave trade. This is reason number one. Let me show you the Bible verse where God condones this behavior. Evidence number one, your male and female slaves are to come from the nations around you. From them, you may buy slaves. You may also buy some of the temporary residents living among you and members of their clan born in your country, and they will become your property. You can bequeath them to your children as inherited property and can make them slaves for life. But you must not rule over your fellow Israelites ruthlessly. Your God condones slavery. Your God also condones the grape of women. It's okay to grape a woman as long as you pay the dad 50 shekels. Your God says that's okay. And you want me to believe in this? You want me to get down on my knees and pray to a God that wants my people enslaved, that caused my people to be enslaved? You want me to pray to a God that unalive kids because a bald-headed man was walking up a hill and they made fun of the bald-headed man? You want me to serve a God that unalives babies because of what their dad does, because their dad sinned? You want me to serve a God that unalives people all the time, millions and millions of people, because he makes mistakes? I don't want a God that makes mistakes. I want a God that's right all the time. I want to worship a God that knows what the fuck he's doing. Okay? Thanks for coming to my...
Hey, real talk. Hey, yeah, so somebody asked what the subject matter. The subject matter is we really coming to you to talk about the chrome-plated theories stamped by Rome. You know what I'm saying? What we mean by the chrome-plated theories, meaning the shit can be wrong, and they know it's wrong, but they still hold it in place because so many dumb mother suckers been going along with it for so long, and we might just leave it the way it is. It's like you've been giving a baby a poisonous pacifier, and the baby been living off it so long, he addicted to it. So we might as well just let him keep it. That type of thing. Some shit that's poison, you don't let you keep it because everybody's poisoning themselves anyway. It's normal to poison yourself, right? This is the type of shit I'm talking about when I say chrome-plated theories. Now, well, she just talking about she was just going over the dumb diverses, right? We already broke a lot of this stuff down already, me and Rod. The dumb diverses, sanctums. You know what I'm saying? We broke down most of all the papists. The romantic pontifex. It's a couple key ones. We got AIs breaking them down. But like I said, the subject matter here is main thing is we can't keep going along with their chrome-plated theories. We gotta start, in order for us to get our sovereignty back, we gotta enforce the Constitution, just like Noble Ali said. That's how we enact our sovereignty as a people. And not just enforce the Constitution as an individual. We got to enforce it as a tribe, as a whole, as a nation, against these foreign parasitic influence and suckers, man, on our land. And a lot of our people have joined with these suckers, not knowing the fraud. Or some of them figured out the fraud, but they getting a kickback from Rome, right? 501c3 skull and bones agreement. These clergies who think they said to be Freemasons and think they know what they're talking about because they got a fucking patent with the white man patenting them. Old boy Hussein, no sweat Hussein, you pull out your patent, Prince Hall patent, thinking that you got something and your ass is on. That means you just showed me that they own your ass. That's what you just showed me. And that you can't say nothing because everything you say is copyrighted. You can't say tell us no secrets, which they don't really got no goddamn secrets. And what's so funny about Prince Halls, and shout out my real brothers, the square business out there really putting in work. They don't know no better. They don't know nothing about the politics and shit of Freemasonry. All they know is, hey, we're going to build this playground for these kids. Or hell, we're going to help this old lady fix her house. We're going to help the widows, right? And the fatherless. The real square business guys who doing that type of speculative work or operative work. I'm not going at y'all. I'm going at the suckers who think that because they Prince Halls, they know everything. And then they sold on a storyline of that the Prince Halls gave them about how Prince Halls got his chapel. They sold on that they lost in the sauce. Ain't no way that Prince Halls was no damn first African Mason. The word African wasn't even around to 1884. Wasn't no word African. So how could he call it the African Lodge? That's a game within itself. Wasn't no damn African around to after the Berlin Conference. So African Lodge number 1, African Lodge 459. I don't give a damn. He couldn't even call it that. And if he did call it African Lodge, at least he had some kind of goddamn sense. You know what I'm saying? I'm telling you, I don't think he called it African Lodge because the word African didn't exist then. So you think you know you got something, and you think, oh, I got a patent. Yeah, you patent. They patent your ass, and your ass, you better not say shit outside of that shit. I'm telling you. Like you know something. We know way more than you know. You don't know shit. Try to argue with the God. Don't ever get in the ring and try to fuck your goddamn arms ain't even long enough to fight God, nigga. Your arms ain't long enough. Go ahead and try to punch God right now, nigga. Let's see how long your arms is. Get your ass up out of here.
The doctrine of discovery, when Europe made colonization a religion. The moment Europe transformed conquest into God's will came in the 1400s, when the Vatican issued a series of papal decrees known as the doctrine of discovery, religious laws that legally authorized Christian nations to invade, steal, enslave, and eradicate any people who were not.
Because we ain't got to really go over like a lot of that stuff, but them Prince Halls, they got chrome plated theories. That's what the fuck they got. They got chrome plated theories on a Prince Hall story. That shit is a chrome plated theory. They can't prove none of that. They can't prove none of that shit. They can't prove that he was in a Boston law. It's a bunch of bullshit. Prince Halls is Benjamin Banneker. They got mad because we was trying to tell them that Prince Halls was really Benjamin Banneker. And they tried to create two different characters. But if you go look at the date, the times of death, and cross-reference, you'll see what the hell is going on. How the hell is Benjamin Banneker laying out Washington, D.C. in a Masonic layout like that if he ain't on damn, if A. Mason's around for a long ass time prior to him? Who the hell taught him? Who the hell taught him? He learned all that shit. You mean to tell me this Negro Benjamin Banneker learned all that? He niggas became Masons then, and he learned all that shit in that short amount of time to do a whole fucking geographical layout of Washington, D.C. way back then. Come on, man. Y'all still believe it? The Prince Hall still probably believe the fucking Atlantic slave trade storyline. They so fucking washed up and they so fucking trapped into the old paradigm of what they got sold. They really think they know what the hell they talking about. They really think that they went across the burning sand and all this other bullshit. Don't know shit. And I challenge any one of you suckers. I'm willing to be tried and never denied. I know all your shit. Drop it, nigga. Y'all want to run it? I'll arrange a whole lodge. You can rearrange it. I'll arrange it back. And then I'll tell you then I'll give you the real motherfucking rituals. Because that shit you doing is Hyksos down. That's the Hyksos rituals you doing. We blind. Achmos and Cockmos blindfolded the Hyksos and rolled their pants leg up and Cable told them and marched them up from over here. Got their ass off, got them damn Jacobites up out of here. And that's why they came back to come out to us, these black Venetians. Because we kicked their ass from over here. The Magi's and Murdoch now. Because people was asking, hey, why don't you do a tape on Murdoch? Nigga, you know how many tapes we got on Murdoch? Go to the Anarchy playlist, nigga. We got 300 tapes in there. Right? So we ain't got time for no Prince Halls who don't really know shit and think they know shit just because they got a patent in the ring. Shit's funny, man. Just because you got a patent in the ring, they go, oh, I know what's going on, man. I'm telling you. You don't know. You don't know because if you knew, you had... I can't know because I don't got no patent. That's why I don't know. But since he know because he got a patent. That shit is funny, bro. That shit was funny when he pulled that shit up. That shit was fucking funny. So it's like, but we really brought you on to stress, and we're gonna be dropping all 27 articles. I think we on article. We got 1 through 5 out. No, we got 1 through 4. So we're gonna be dropping 5 next. I'm gonna be doing the Fifth Amendment next, and I'm gonna knock all 27 out. But so because we need to know this, man, and we need to teach our children the Constitution, since the Constitution is what give us our rights and our supreme rights to the land, and the treaties. That's need to be our main focus, to me. And now I understand why Noble Drew Ali said enforce the Constitution. Pretty much so. But let me get some of these short clips out on you.
Globally, it's called the doctrine of discovery. Now, let me read that to you. The doctrine of discovery in 1452. It states to invade, set out, capture, vanquish, and subdue all Saracens and pagans whatsoever. Saracens refer to Muslims, okay, or black people who are Muslims, all right? And other enemies of Christ whatsoever placed in the kingdoms, dukedoms, principalities, dominions, possessions, and all movable and immovable goods whatsoever held and possessed by them, and to reduce their persons to perpetual slavery, and to apply and appropriate to himself and his successors the kingdoms, dukedoms, counties, principalities, dominions, possessions, and goods, and to convert them to his and their use and profit. And this was by Pope Nicholas V. That is known as the Papal Bull of 1452. And that this auspices the so-called Catholic Christian, the so-called Christian Inquisitions, and the so-called Spanish and the Portuguese that I'll handle in a different video, set up and went outside Europe to murder, pillage, destroy, rape, take over anything and any land they came across. So this pain, atrocity, evil doing of things under this papal bull signed by the Pope and this Catholic Church, destroyed the first nation, the original people, because these were barbaric. No sense, no concern, no feeling for you, kind of animalistic. It's either you accept what we are preaching, you accept what we are bringing, or we'll murder you and we take everything. Guess what? They set a sail, they captured a lot of people around the continent of Africa, and set a sail all the way to the Americas and around the world, causing havoc. Now, when you look around, there are a group of so-called people that we call white, and a group of so-called people that we call mixed folks, and a group of other people that we call melanated or black people. And a lot of those in the middle, whether it is Mexicans or those Puerto Ricans and all those people around, Middle Eastern, all those people around are due to the rape, the pillage, the murder of what this people did as a result. Is mainly part of the outcome, because these so-called.
So the papal bulls, even pedophilia, all that, it gave way to all of it. Lynching, murdering, the whole goddamn list of demonic activities. The papals gave way to that. Now, there's maniacs on the corner right now calling themselves Hebrew Israelites, and we are the real Hebrew. We are the real Hebrews. We are the real Israelites. But that Bible don't got nothing to do with us. That Bible don't got shit to do with us, bro. I mean, it's our shit that they took and twisted it and turned around our storyline, but it don't got nothing to do with us in this day and time. For the people that's out, for all you Hebrews out still promoting the Bible on the corner, you might well be just part of the papacists and part of the colonizers. That shit don't got nothing to do with us. That book shouldn't have nothing to do with us. Our culture existed without that book. We didn't need that book to know how to be good. The real children of God don't need the Bible to be good. They good. They automatic. They born good. They got a built-in moral compass. God's children got a built-in moral compass. We didn't need no Bible. So for you, and it's all allegory, and they out there teaching it as it's literally. It's some Hebrew clans out here literally beating people over the head like a damn sledgehammer with this damn book, and it's a part of the colonization and fucking the papas. It's part of the papas and own sanctums and pretty much enslaving and pedophiling. Pretty much that's why it's talk about the Hebrew Israelites in their book are pedophiles. They eat children in the book. Don't come selling that shit over here to our people no more. Y'all on the corner preaching that shit. Take that damn Bible and burn that shit. That shit is over. The contract is over. That's why Donald Trump is standing outside that church with that Bible upside down, because that shit is that's a fucking conjure. That Bible is a conjure. It's a spell book. And I don't give a damn what you say. You can go pray and call on whoever you want and get mad at the young girl all you want. But truth is fucking truth. And I don't know who gonna tell you, but I will. I don't know all you Captain Tazariacs and all you niggas who still out here preaching this shit. Go ahead, but we ain't with it. And you might well be with the goddamn colonizers, Captain Tazariak and General Johanna, all you suckers who really dirty jokers in the background, sleeping with all them women, eating gluten, overweight, y'all overweight, fat suckers. Yeah, General Ohana did look like he 400 pounds. Would he eat turkey necks and shit? So stop fucking preaching that bullshit to our people, that colonization. We didn't have that shit over here. And if you want to be a Hebrew, go on over to Jerusalem then. You know what I'm saying? What them motherfuckers did over there. You know what I'm saying? Stop beating people over the head with some shit that we know right at this point now is a part of the clone-pated theories stamped by Rome. It's a fucking, the Bible is a clone-plated theory. That's what the fuck it is. Ain't no goddamn facts in that shit. Ain't no facts. It's all theories and fucking allegory stories. Because you can't prove shit in there. Now you might say, oh, well, it says we're here, words of wisdom. They stole all of our words of wisdom and put them in that goddamn book. And I don't like polite, but he said some good shit about the Bible. He says, he said the Bible got good shit in it. And then he said, well, if you had, he said, would you eat lettuce? They were telling him polite. They said the Bible got some good shit in it, right? And he's like, yeah, that's cool. But would you eat lettuce out the trash? Fresh lettuce out the trash? Out the dumpster, nigga? You know what I'm saying? Yeah, it may got some fresh good shit up in there. It may got some good shit up in there, but it's the rest, it's like eating out the dumpster. Eating that shit out the dumpster. You know what I'm saying? So we ain't going, anybody you hear at this point in 2026 that's still promoting the Bible and they know for a fact that them people colonize us, they part of the problem. They part of the problem. They ain't part of the solution. We don't want no more. That Bible's a goddamn contract with some God who we don't want no deals with Enlil. Enlil don't come through on none of his deals. He backdoored and finagled every motherfucker he made a deal with. He backdoored and finagled them. So, because what made me mad about it is I heard Captain Cesariak and them arguing with a dude about a white man and a black man being born out of the same woman. I said, man, that's scientifically incorrect. But I can break it down scientifically if you're talking about albinos, right? Albinos coming out of Nubians, right? But the way they was breaking it down as far as the Esau and Jacob thing, saying there's two nations and one of them, Esau, is a white guy and then the other guy is a black guy. That shit sound retarded as fuck to me. Y'all sound like some fucking maniacs, some crazy, mad ass, stupid motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying? To come out and talking about, oh, a white man and a black man was born out of the sick. Come on, man. And then don't tell us that it's symbolic. They just say, oh yeah, this is literal. This ain't symbolic, it's literal. Man, you niggas. And them niggas really think they be doing something when they be trying to break down, oh, in Hebrew, the Bible in Hebrew. Man, we don't want that shit in. We don't give a damn what language you translate that shit in. Take that shit, roll it up, and take it back to Europe or Rome, wherever the hell you got that shit. We don't want that shit over here. Roll that shit up and get it out from over here. You know what I'm saying? Yo, ain't all the virgins, nigga. We don't want none of your virgins. We don't want no king, none of them. This shit is a wrap. That shit is part of a doctrine of discovery. That shit is part of the motherfucking Spanish Inquisition, who raped and pillaged and murdered and lynched our people, our ancestors. We don't want shit to do with it. So when you see these niggas on corner now, don't even pay them no mind. Just keep walking. Don't even waste your time with these Hebrew niggas on the corner no more. Yeah, we the real Israelites, but that shit don't got none of that shit. That biblical shit don't got nothing to do with us. That's some bullshit, make-believe shit. They done twisted our story around, twisted and tangled it around, got you doing all these old bullshit ass, outdated ass rituals every fucking Saturday. You worshiping the Saturday. It's Saturn worship. That's why they march 7 times around the Kaaba. That's why they do that 7 times around Jericho, because it's 7 rings around Saturn. It's fucking Saturn worship. Passover is when the sun they just had Passover, right? It's dealing with the motion of the sun of God, S-U-N. It's sun worship. Your shit is sun worship. You want to get into it? I mean, that was our shit. That's our shit anyway. We do. They said we worship the sun, but we didn't worship the sun. We adored the sun because we know the sun brings life. The sun helps our food grow. The sun brings warmth to the planet. The sun pretty much keeps us alive. So we had admiration for the sun. It wasn't that we worshiped the sun. Because look, Doc was taught in different stages. When Doc said keep the Sabbath, he was saying that because he was teaching Hebrews then. He was teaching Islamic Hebrews. That's why he said it. So he in different parts, when he was teaching different schools, he would say, he would make us go through the full rituals of what that school was. So if you're a real student of Malachi, you somebody, whoever Woody Harry is, if you're a student of Malachi, you wouldn't even ever ask that question, because you would know that Malachi taught in schools. And then when we was in certain schools, we performed all the rituals of that school during that time that we was in that school. And then once we got out of that school, we was like, okay, what's next? You know, so that Sabbath shit is all Saturn worship. It's sun worship. It's astronomy. And if anybody that don't know that at this point is either slow, you don't want to know, or you just scared to fucking face the truth. It's fucking Saturn worship. It's worship of, it's like dealing with, it's all they signs. Because they worship these beings. They came from Saturn, Titan, the planet Titan. These what you calling dragon reptilians that we are fighting against. One group of them come from Titan and Saturn, and they worship. They set up an order called a black cube, where they worship this black cube and this Saturn worship, and that ties into the Sabbath day and all this crap that they created after the fact. And some Hebrews on here, they mad, they face all scrunched up, like, man, this dude don't know what he talking about, man. God is this and that. Nigga, shut your bitch ass up, nigga. Toughen up, nigga. Throw you a pad, nigga. Get you a nigga. Go dip your balls in solid gold or something, nigga. Get some nuts, nigga. You can say, you can get mad on how I'm coming and say, oh, well, he got a curse and all that. Nigga, shut yourself. I'm a military. We at war. So hey, take it how you want it. But eventually, you suckers, if you still going along with it at a certain time, we gonna know what side you on. We gonna behead your ass. We gonna guillotine your ass with the rest of the suckers. So you keep on teaching your bullshit Hebrew, Bible shit if you want. Because when the time comes, we gonna line your ass up with the rest of the motherfuckers. We're going to line your ass up and guillotine your ass, just like the rest of them damn suckers who've been playing us. So what? It is what it is. Don't get mad at us.
Rome has dominated Europe. First of all, obviously, under the Caesars of Rome. And when the Caesars of Rome fell at about the 5th century, a new power rose in Rome called the Vatican. Well, the Vatican simply took over the position of Caesar of Rome. And so today, the papacy or the Pope is still basically Caesar in Rome. And this is why all of the nations of Europe all come to bow down to the Pope in Rome, because he is, in point of fact, Caesar. His official title is Pontifex Maximus. That was a term that was given to Caesar of Rome. So the point I'm making here is that for 3,200 years, Rome has dominated Europe. And for 3,200 years, Europe has dominated the world. Therefore, there is the old saying that all roads lead to Rome.
If you're seeking the real truth, if you want to understand...
I don't want to be at all trite with religion. Sure. I don't play with people's religion. Mm-hmm. But Scripture talks about Jesus being an individual who had hands and feet the color of not just brass, but burned brass. Right. That's dark. Right. And hair like lamb's wool. Right. That's not blonde and blue-eyed. When did Jesus and how did Jesus as a symbol become blonde and blue-eyed?
And here's the thing too. They still promoting this Jesus thing. Wasn't no damn Jesus. There was a Yeshua. There was a man named Yeshua who was a part of the Essenes. But he ain't had nothing to do with religion. And damn sure nothing to do with no Bible or Christianity. The Jesus character is a made-up character dealing with the sun in the sky, the S-U-N, which traveled around with 12 disciples, which became the disciples were the zodiacs, the 12 zodiac signs. They took, this is astronomy. The secret societies have been giving you religion, and they've been keeping the astronomy. And they telling you about some damn Jesus, and they whole time they know they're talking about the S-U-N, the sun in the sky. They've been playing you the whole fucking time. The secret societies. Had half of the Freemasons don't even know this shit. The Nubians, they call themselves Prince Halls, don't even know. It's half of them niggas still believe in Jesus. Or Allah, somebody, some God. Because you got to believe in some God to be a part of these niggas. Now, am I lying or am I dying? You people know. The niggas that know. In order to be a part of the Prince Halls, you got to have some God. Or believe in some higher source of power. That's the fucking trick within itself right there.
Who is the Pope? He is the Emperor of Rome. Rome never died, never faded away. It became the Vatican. What is the Vatican? It is the priesthood of all of the old pagan religions of Rome, built upon the deception that they are Christian. Can man change the orders of God? Can man elevate himself above God? No. Then why did the Pope change the Sabbath from Saturday to Sunday, the venerable day of the worship of the sun Osiris? Why in the outer courtyard of the Vatican is there a temple of the sun, an obelisk, and a reflecting pool built as a fountain around the base of the obelisk? Because what we're talking about in Dealey Plaza and in Washington, D.C. exists also in the Vatican. And I'm not trying to insult Catholics, I'm just trying to tell you the truth.
Rome never fell. It went underground and became the church and used religion to take over.
Yeah, he's not coming in. Look, if you're just not coming in, hit that like, hit that subscribe button, man. We're talking about chrome-plated theories. And like I say, what them Hebrews on the corner teaching is a chrome-plated fucking theory. All stamped by Rome. Right? It's a chrome-plated theory, man. Some God gonna come back out the sky to save them. If that's the case, he would have already came back already. They've been waiting on Jesus to come back for a long ass time. But the truth of the matter is Jesus rise every day in the sky. Oh, really? He don't even rise because the sun really never stops shining. It's just the planet, the way a planet rotates. Jesus never stopped shining. Somebody say, "How can you buy my tapes? All my tapes are free. All you gotta do is click on and watch." If you want to talk, if you talking about buying my books, now I got 8 books for $45 donation to the Cash App or PayPal. Leave your emails and the links in the descriptions, and I'll send all 8 books over to your email in the PDF forms. Right? You want to get the books? We got the books, but my tapes, all the tapes are free online. Unless you go, we got tapes on Patreon though. Like you might have to pay $5, I think, something to watch all of them or whatever. But that's the most part. Like we ain't charging that for no tapes. We put them out for free. Like I said, but if you just not tuning in, man, hit that like, hit that subscribe button. We brought you here to talk about all these goddamn polished paradox that they created in the court system, in the medical fields. In the medical fields, they're not into curing nobody. They're not into helping us. We got to help our goddamn self. They're not into helping us. Right? So we got to be more, we got to start creating more holistic doctors and training, reorganizing our tribal schools that we had on the land prior to these suckers colonizing us with this dumb verses, these doctrine of discovery, the Spanish Inquisition, and all these papacies, and all they acts that they came after the fact. We got to reestablish our original way of life on this land ASAP, because that's the reason why we losing. We need to start training more holistic doctors, and we don't give a damn. We need to stop going to they licensed people. We need to license our own people. We need to create our own license for our own people, our own doctors on the land. Like we got people like Yaki, LifeWave, all these other guys that are holistic guys. We need to authorize our own guys. We need to counsel their guys and have our own guys. And that's why they didn't like the Black Panthers, because the Black Panthers was into doing that. They was into creating their own hospitals. They was into creating their own feed the children programs. And they tried to counter that with food stamps. These people wanted to stop these people from doing for themselves. The government don't like us doing for ourselves, y'all. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad told us, do for self. Start building your own shit. Because if you don't, if you go to your enemy for help, what you think the enemy gonna do? If you go to your enemy for help, what do you think your enemy is gonna do to you? He's gonna poison you. He's gonna try to destroy you when you go to him for help. You gotta be a damn fool to go to your enemy for help. Ain't no help with the enemy. You hear what I'm telling you? So we got to reorganize and start teaching to have constitutional classes where we teach nothing but the Constitution. Since the Constitution is supreme law of the land, shouldn't that be our main focus on educating the people? Since help is a number one cause, they killing us in the hospitals. Shouldn't us creating our own hospitals and training our own doctors be number one priority at this point? Or am I talking crazy? Yeah. How can you win in a system where your efforts are being weaponized against you? Because they said that, look, in the Albert Pike letter, they said that when they come to us for help, we're going to poison them. And we're going to tax them. We're going to poison and tax them. They hate us, man. These people deep down inside, the system was designed to hate us by default. The system. So if anybody that's a part of the system gonna hate us, they're gonna hate us by default, even if they don't come out outright and say it. Their actions based on the system against us is gonna show what they all about. You see what I'm saying? So, man, that's why I'm working with Rob. We're gonna be getting together, man. Everybody, we're trying to get everybody together. And we start setting up on the land, our tribal hospitals, our tribal schools, educating our people for the betterment of our people. The regular public schools are not educating our people for the betterment of our people. They educate our people to power up the system against us. I'm telling you, man. So this is a situation where we gotta come into realization that, hey, man, these suckers ain't gonna help us, and if we go to them for help, they're gonna try to get rid of us. So we got at this point we gotta do for self, and we should have been did for self, and we would have did for self in the 1930s and 40s when the Honorable Elijah Muhammad put out the message to the black man. I don't know exactly when he put that book out, but just say I know he was teaching that ideology during the 40s and 50s, right? The Honorable Elijah Muhammad. Doing for self is number one for us. It's up because it's self-preservation for us. Self-preservation is the number one law. And if self-preservation is the number one law, shouldn't we be doing things stimulated towards it for our own self-preservation? Because they don't give a damn if we go away or not. They really want us to keep enough of us alive so they can keep feeding off our state like fucking vampires. Yeah. Turtle Island, our state. And the government is foreign trustees. They rogue trustees on our goddamn land. That's what it is. I'm telling you, man. And they have breached their fiduciary duties by not honoring the Constitution and pretty much hijacking it and undermining it on purpose. They've undermined the Constitution on purpose, these guys. They usurping, using the usurper agreements and got us going around thinking we black Negroes in color when we are the true heirs, the true Moors, the true Israelites to the real house of Israel, which they call it Turtle Island, North Gate, the cosmological name for Turtle Island. So I'm pretty sure right at this point now, we passed the black game, the black and white game. right? Most of our people is past that. So, you know what I'm saying? We gotta, man, we just gotta stay focused, man. We gotta stay focused because these suckers they ain't gonna give our shit back. We gotta take it. And in order to take it, we gotta enact the Constitution. We gotta start back doing our tribal shit again. They made our tribal shit illegal. Because and we gotta have a license to do it. Cutting hair was a natural thing over here. Everybody cutting hair was a natural trade on this land, but now you got to have a license. Who are these guys? You know what I'm saying? Shit is bullshit. Like I said, I was scrolling out here, Captain Cesarek and them arguing with a guy. These guys still arguing about the Bible. Our people still arguing about the colonizing doctrine. That's how our people are still arguing with each other over the doctrine that colonized them both. That's fucking crazy. Captain Cesariak arguing with some other nigga over the Bible. I said, man, these niggas is crazy. Why they ain't arguing over the Constitution? That Bible don't got shit to do with real law. Really, it do though, because a lot of that chrome-plated theories they got in that motherfucker stimulated these romantic laws they got. They come from their Mosaic laws, right? I'm telling you, because it's based on contracts and covenants. The Bible is a covenant. You go back to the Old Testament, it's all about, this God got to make a deal with these other guys. It's a contract. He got to make a covenant with these guys, and if they do a deal with him, he'll be their God. Well, we don't want you to be our God. We don't want no deals with your God. You Hebrews, we don't want no deals with your God. You know what I'm saying? We don't want no deal with your God, dog. Your God don't got no good deals. Because the deal he gave y'all was a shabby, fucked up deal. Y'all still ain't got no land. Y'all still ain't got no land. How long it's been since your God all powerful and all wise and exact, he still ain't got you no goddamn land? Come on, man. Y'all ain't on to the game, man. My boy, my sons now ain't even going for this shit no more. They say, man, hey, dad, man, how long? This God said he's supposed to get us some land. We made the deal. We did what he said, but he ain't come through on the land, man. That's a fraud. That's a breach of contract. That's a what you call he got the God should forfeit the collateral. What's the collateral though? The collateral is the people. So they put you up for collateral. Your God, you Hebrews, your God put you up for collateral. And when he don't pay, shit, he gonna get he just get whatever happened to you just happened. That type of shit. I'm telling you, man. So we ain't going for the the Jonah in the well no more, man. We ain't going for that shit, man. Jonah in the well 3 days. Unless you tell me the nigga was in a submarine. Now I can dig that. Jonah went in the submarine for 3 days and 3 nights and he prayed underwater. That make more sense than the goddamn well getting the guy. But you got Hebrews on the corner still saying, nah, man, the well really ate him, man. This God you talking about here, this God. These niggas dead lost. Them niggas dead lost on the corner, man. Well, they still promoting if God did it. It don't matter if it's a fairy tale. If God did it, though, that make it real because, it ain't just a fairy tale if God did it. You niggas is crazy as hell, man. You still going with this white man doctrine that he came and colonized. Well, it's really the dark-skinned, dirty Moors doctrine that they came and they bastardized and copyrighted it and then locked you and bent you over into this position and got you thinking that, if we do what this God say, you still trying to honor the contract that's already been frauded. The covenant the Israelites, the so-called Hebrews, black Hebrews on the corner trying to keep now, that contract already was defrauded a long time ago. You can't keep the contract because it's already been defrauded. You got to create a whole new contract. Now you say if you say you created another contract to do it, to keep the keep the Sabbath and do this bullshit, man, get the hell out of here. It's a bunch of crap. And somebody got to tell you. So you can say you didn't, so you won't, when you get to the end, finish line, you won't say that you didn't know. Oh man, we didn't know it was some bullshit. Well, we told you it was some bullshit. You just think they must be a devil. Or they must be some bad guys because they don't want to believe it. No, nigga, we ain't got to be no bad guys because we don't want to believe your bullshit. You know what I'm saying? It's bullshit. You can't get mad because we don't want to believe it. Yeah, submarine. Yeah, he said, yes, we go with a submarine picking him up. But it wasn't no yellow. It had to be a submarine, one of them ones that looked like a whale. No, submarine can pass for a whale. You know, it's a document out about the British or somebody torpedoing whales because they thought they were submarines. You heard that storyline before? So if they was to say, oh yeah, well, technically, man, you know, Jonah didn't get picked up by a whale, it was a submarine. Now they would have said that, we said, okay, yeah, I can go with it. But there's some niggas on the corner still perpetuating, nah, man, it wasn't no whale. I mean, it wasn't no submarine. It really was a whale because this was God. This was God. See, this is Enlil. Enlil got more power. Enlil got a little bit more. He got a little bit more juice than Allah. Enlil, and then this a killer. This another killer. You got the Hebrews on the corner thinking that they God is different from the Allah. Allah and Yahweh and all these different gods. They full of shit. Eli, Jesus said Eli. So Eli, the Hebrews God is Eli, and the Muslim God is Allah. They think that's a different God. It could be, and we can get to it, could be a different God. Hey, we can get into the Gerald the Dolphin, because that shit can be believable too. The Gerald the Dolphin shit can be believable too. The way, based on how he described it. He gave more of a scientific explanation. Then he said that this dolphin was super intelligent, and that the dolphin would blow bubbles out of his hole, blow a big whirlpool bubbles out of his hole to create these oxygen vortexes. We heard that as they were taking him down to another location. But when he got to that location, he no longer needed the dolphin to create the air hole because there is underground caves under the water to where you can breathe in them when you come up in these caves. It's breathing areas in these caves, right? So it's a lot of scientific explanation to the Gerald the Dolphin story shit, right? And we started to think that, hey, there's something to that, because why the hell they still out there trying to look for the shit if it was all fraud? Why they still out there searching the fucking area for this underground tunnel if it's all make believe and shit? So it's more to that Gerald the Dolphin shit. I believe it's government involvement, because we found a document where Gerald the Dolphin was trained by the government. It was a dolphin named Gerald trained by the government to speak English. And then he got turned loose. So that shit ain't that dolphin story sound crazy, but it's a lot of shit to that, man. And then it's like why don't want you talking to dolphins? Like what the fuck? Why you can't talk to dolphins? That type of stuff. So there's a lot of stuff that's going on stimulated behind that. That's more of a recent topic though. We talking about 2003, 10,000. Well, the Jonah story, which it got probably like 3,000-4,000 years old. At least that's what they telling us, right? We believe it's bullshit. All of it. I think the whole Bible is bullshit. The whole thing. If one look, man, it's like to me, if 10% of it is bullshit, the whole thing might well be bullshit. You know what I'm saying? That's how I feel about it. I don't want to read none of it no more. If 1% of it is a certain percentage of it is bullshit. And the only reason I do read it and had to do it today is because they help my people get them out of it. But I know it at this point, being the level that we on, we know it's bullshit. We know that we got the Inky end list, we got all of the stories, we got the backstory on the flood, all the books that they plagiarized, like the ancient Egyptian Book of the Dead, which is one of our books about the dead. right? Because everybody in that Bible is dead. Only person they say alive is Jesus, and they don't got no proof of that, really. They don't got no proof of it. They can't find you nobody grave in the Bible. Why is that? And then they make up a grave site talking about King David's grave. They can't find you nobody grave site in the Bible besides King David. What about the people after King David? How you gonna give us King David but can't give us nobody after King David? They can't give you where's the 12 disciples grave site? Was there even the 12 disciples? Where's their fucking grave site? Why don't y'all ask questions like this? It's a shit that make me mad that the Hebrew on the corner and nobody asking them, hey, where is anybody grave site in the New Testament? Let alone showing me King David's grave site. Where the hell is anybody grave site in the New Testament? Any of the disciples? Where's Paul grave site? Peter, Luke, any one of them? Why can't they show you this shit? And then you want to still be out here promoting this shit to my people? Them days is over. And I, like me personally, because of the good spirit I am, if I see them on the corner, I wouldn't even bother them. I'll just keep walking unless they try to come out. Unless they fuck with me, right? If you fuck with me, then hey, you know what I'm saying? You throw a punch at God, God is within his right to throw a punch back. You know what I'm saying? Hey, my definition of God is whoever's in control, nigga, and I'm not always in control of my own situation. You know what I'm saying? So I'm a God in my own right. All of you are gods in your own right, right? Because God is whoever's in control. So all of you are gods within your own right. So, like I say, me being a good spirit, I wouldn't attack nobody, right? I wouldn't go out and say, oh, you niggas wrong. You need to stop doing it. I wouldn't go out personally and to do that. But if I'm walking down the street and they say, hey, come here, brother, you better get with my God, Yahweh, and this and that. Then, all right, nigga, then I'm gonna turn the gun on you. Now, nigga, hey, I would turn the gun on you then. I turn the cannon on niggas that try to turn the cannon on me. You know what I'm saying? It's called self-defense. Right? I'm telling you, I ain't got no problem with you being what you want, man. You can be a fucking whoever you want. But don't come over here promoting that shit to our people after we know at this point that all that shit is colonization. All of it. Islam, all of it. That we had Islam civics. It don't got nothing to do with religion. Nothing whatsoever. It's got something to do with continuity of government and structure of government and supreme law of the land and common law. That's what Islam civics is. That got nothing to do with religion. You niggas are Muhammadisms. Muhammad and niggas saying that you follow Muhammad. You follow his sunnah, right? His way. Muhammad said, I left two things for you. Right? And so niggas follow the high niggas out here that some, and this don't really, I don't even care about this, but it's some niggas out here, they follow the Hadith instead of the Quran. That's funny. That's funny, nigga. If you are saying you a Muslim, you niggas Muhammadism. That's why you follow the Hadith instead of the Quran. Muhammad followed the Quran, according to what they say. But then we could debate that too, because Muhammad couldn't even read the damn Quran. According to what they told us, he couldn't even read. Muhammad couldn't read the Quran in the language that it was translated in. Huh? We want to get down to it now. So we ain't got time to, man, don't be religious, man. Please, whatever you do, don't sell your soul short like that. Don't believe no more religious shit, man. Let them get their hair that shit, man. If you're gonna be religious, create your own damn religion from scratch. If you want to be religious. At this point, we ain't going for no more clone-prated theories. That's what that fucking Bible is. That's what all their medical diagnostics are, all clone-plated theories. That shit is not credible, it's not solid. Nothing solid about it. Ain't nothing solid about the Bible. Nothing. The Bible is only for suckers who don't know how to do right. Religion is for suckers who don't know how to do right. That wasn't us. We ain't need we wasn't beast. The beast of the field needed the Bible to tell him to do good, to tell him not to kill, to tell him not to steal. We ain't got to steal. We own every goddamn thing. What we got to steal? Huh? That's how you know this shit is a game. What about York? Cause Woody, I ain't gonna lie, Woody Harris 96. You treading a motherfucking thin line, study breaking up Doc, man. I'm telling you, cause I don't like the way you saying his name. You saying Doc name to me in the wrong. You saying it wrong to me, and I don't tolerate no disrespect to the master teacher at all. I'll boot your ass right goddamn now. So you better clear what you saying, Woody, Harris 96. What are you saying about Doc? Because I'll put a booty right in the crack of your ass. He made a religion. He made a religion. Hey, shout out B-Dale, man. What up, B-Dale? Now, Doc ain't make a religion. Doc created a whole... Doc just gave us back our culture that we already had before they colonized us. That's what Doc did. Doc said, well, we were the Tamarayans. And he said the Tamarayan, the Tamari Holy Land. That's what Doc said. So I don't see where you're going. I think you treading a thin line. That's what I think you're doing. You trying to play me. That's what I think you're doing. You slick going after Doc. That's what I think you're doing. Is that what you're doing? Because you sound like you reaching all over the goddamn place with Dr. Malachi York name. You're treading a thin goddamn line, I'm gonna tell you. Okay. Tomorrow, that's what York did, and York, he steady throwing Doc name out there like he trying to like do something, like you trying to discredit or do something with Doc name. Don't play with Dr. Malachi York name on my channel, nigga. I'll boot your ass. Don't play no type of games like that, nigga. And I'm sorry if I'm coming off like I'm coming off, but that's just one thing, one person you don't play with on like I'm serious. You don't play around with Doc name, nigga. Or the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. Don't play with the Honorable Elijah Muhammad name on here neither, nigga. Them two people you better not play on my channel, bro. Don't play on their name on my channel at all. Man, we about to get up out of here, man. We didn't want to hold you long. I didn't want to get too disturbed. But hit that like, hit that subscribe button. Is it look now? Hey, now he comes out to show his true colors. York smarter than you, blaspheme. Nigga, shut your bitch ass up. Nigga, I'm gonna block your bitch ass. Now, I knew you was a sucker, nigga. We know suckers when we see them. You a sucker, nigga. That's what you are. We know suckers when we see them. Yeah, because he was up in here playing already with Doc name. Just keep on throwing it out there like slick like. Thinking that we ain't see it. Nigga, we know gins when we know what to do with a gin when we see him. You're a straight gin, nigga. Help out of here, nigga. We out, y'all. One love, one heart. Hey, free the master teacher, Dr. Malachi York. Free Jeff Ford. Free Larry Hoover. We out, y'all.
Never have it been made so clear.